Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to make a kind of a filler video because the thing I planned to do today I just couldn't finish it, so here it is. Today I'm going to print three different projects. One of them is a mod for my Voron 2.4, the other two are just random useful things I found on Thingiverse over some time, actually not just today, but yeah, I think it's still worth showcasing. So yeah, that's what's going on. So firstly, this is another spool holder design I designed for the 2.4. I'm going to show this in more detail and why I designed it once I show it on the printer. But yeah, the point of this is to mount on top of the top extrusion and have a spool holder there. And again, I will get to the reason why. You will notice that once I show this design is slightly different. This is the new revision of it, and the main problem with the old one was inserting the screw here and then accessing it with the wrench was a pain, so I fixed that. And there was a small problem on this. I forgot to remove the wrench access hole here from the standard design, so yeah, that's the change, but otherwise it's the same spool holder and you will see that it's working pretty well. From this we will move on to this headphone stand design. I printed two of these, and yeah, I think these look pretty nice. You can see them here. I printed the XL version, which according to the description here, it's not tested yet, but in my case they work pretty well, so I'm happy with the design. And yeah, you will see the finished print in a second. And lastly, I will print this micro SD card holder. If you're like me, you probably have a ton of micro SD cards lying around because of the many Raspberry Pis I have. And sorry about my cat. And yeah, this is a pretty useful design. It looks like a pretty useful design, so yeah, I think it will look pretty nice. So yeah, I guess let's just get to it. So here is the SD card holder printed and finished. You can see that it's a pretty nice, small unit. One thing I would say is, if you're printing this with ABS like I did, it might make sense to scale this up a small amount, because really the tolerances on this seem to be designed for PLA, and the trays are a little tight, but it still works. You will see it in the problem. You will see the problem when I'm actually closing the trays. But yeah, you can see that it is doing its job. Also, it wasn't as easy to insert the micro SD cards as well because of the same tolerance issue. So yeah, if you do this, I recommend to print them a little larger if you're printing these with ABS, that is. But yeah, other than that, you can see it's doing its job nicely, and it is a pretty nice organizer for those of you like me who have many micro SD cards because of many Raspberry Pis. And yeah, it comes with two larger trays as well for standard size SD cards. One of them I'm using with some crappy 8 gig SD card that I got way back in the day with my Tevo Black Widow for the MKS Gen board, or something MKS, I'm not 100%. But yeah, I highly doubt this is any good, and it's probably not even 8 gigs, so I'm never going to use it, but yeah, I'm keeping it as a backup anyway. And this is just the adapter that I got. So yeah, it's a pretty nice design, and you can see the problem here. It's just a little tight, so you could sand this to make it better. In my case, I'm not going to, because it is working. But yeah, ideal thing is to scale this up a little bit to not have the problem. Next, there is the spool holder. The problem with the old version, which used to sit here in my case, was that you can see that it is, even when inserted, very close to the side of the cabinet, which means it was pretty much impossible to put the spool on and remove it when it's done. I had to move the printer itself quite a bit to get access to that, and it was a pain. So here is my solution to that. It's just a top mounted spool holder. I will release this on GitHub as a mod. I did make a few changes after this print, so I'll release the finalized version. It's just some quality of life stuff. As for the weighted spool holders here, well, if you remember, I started them a long time ago in a Voron 2 mods episode. Well, that's not happening anymore because I am building a multi-filament feeder system that I'm going to use it with the Voron 2, so I can no longer use these. So yes, these are unfinished, but at the same time I'm never going to finish them. So there you go, an update on that if you're waiting for the next episode. But episode about a new filament feeder, the carrot feeder from Mete, I think that was the name, should appear on the channel pretty soon, at least the first episode of it. And yeah, we'll see from there. And here are the finished headphone stands. You can see that they do their job pretty nicely, and they fit large headphones like this, for example K7XXs. These are fairly large, and yeah, I think they look pretty nice. One criticism is the cable holder in the back. I had to really wind it like this to for it to stay in place. It's a pain, and with this my HD6XXs, there is just no way to make it work. So I don't like the cable holder, which can be remixed, I guess, and maybe I'll do that in the future. Other than that part of the design, I actually like the design quite a bit. As I said, I think it looks pretty nice. One thing you should keep in mind though, if you only have socket head M3 screws, is on the bottom side, well, these are normally supposed to be countersunk. I didn't have countersunk screws, but the button heads I had worked, but probably only barely. If you use socket heads there, it could be a problem. And since I'm using button heads there, I went with button heads everywhere, but personally I like the look of socket heads more. So that's one thing you should keep in mind, but other than that, this is a pretty nice design. And yeah, I'll link this in the description below if you're interested in this as well, just like the SD card holder and the spool holder thing that I designed for the V2.4. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it for this video. So yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like down below, and thanks for watching.